When I wake up, I'm afraid somebody else might take my place. I'm a good singer. When I wake up, I'm afraid somebody else might take my place. Hello everyone, so I hope the lighting is not too weird. It's like, I don't know, I've got some crazy stuff going on right now. Moving on, because this could end up being a long video, I am doing a current favorites, which is going to align up with everyone else's January favorites, but I am not going to call it a January favorites because, as you guys know, I am extremely irregular with my favorites videos. It just so happens that at the beginning of January up until now, I have discovered a crap ton of new and awesome things, and they have accumulated, and if I don't talk about them sooner or later, there's gonna be some video in the future that's like an hour and a half long, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and jump into my current favorites. Let's take it back to the beginning of January. I'm gonna kick things off with a movie favorite, and this movie is called Coherence, and it was amazing. It changed me. If you are a fan of movies that have somewhat non-linear storylines, this is for you. If you enjoyed Primer, Memento, just stuff kind of like that, like a psychological, sometimes sci-fi thriller, this is bomb. Don't watch any trailers before you watch it. Go in knowing as little as possible. All I'm going to say is it's about 8 friends at a dinner party, 8 kind of older friends, and there is a comet going overhead and some weird stuff, very weird stuff starts happening. It's not scary in like the traditional sense, but yo, it messed me up like really bad that night. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's really, really good though. I highly recommend it. Let's do a fashion favorite. These boots I have not taken off basically since the day I got them. That's not true. Along with those shiny black pointy Oxfords that you guys saw in my college winter lookbook video. These, which are also in that video, I have worn non-stop. These boots I got on clearance at Target. They actually kind of came already with the toes dark, but I have worn them non-stop, and this is a crazy phenomenon that I don't understand what happens. Always on my left shoe, right here, I always get this from like rubbing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it on this one. On my Chelsea boots from Aldo, I have one there too. Now this is some like Coherence stuff in itself. Those shoes have been awesome. It's nice having some brown shoes because literally pretty much all the shoes I own are black, and that can get a little emo. And although I do enjoy being emo, I don't want to be in that aesthetic, I don't know, all the time. So yeah, I got some of those, and they just warm up my wardrobe, and I dig them. They were really, really cheap. If you can still get your hands on them, I highly suggest them. Another sort of fashion favorite would be these gloves, which I was getting killer use out of at the beginning of the month when it was so freaking cold. These are some gloves that I also got at Target, and, or sorry, they're mittens, which is like crucial to the point I'm trying to make. When it is cold, like the cold it's been at the beginning of this winter, you can't get by on wearing gloves. It is not glove weather. You need mittens, especially some mittens that have awesome lining. These were not that expensive. Excuse me. And they keep you way, way, way warmer than any $50, $70, $200 pair of gloves you could ever buy. These simple bad boys right here keep your hands warm. The only annoying thing, obviously, they're not like a touch screen sort of thing, and I am a big phone user, obviously, so that's a slight annoyance, but ultimately, it is not that big of a deal. Let's talk about some beauty favorites, because I actually have quite a lot. I'll kind of break them up because I don't like to go chronologically, obviously. I'm going to mention my switch to a different, well, it's not different eyeliner, a return to a faithful old friend. I have gone back to using the Black Track Fluid line from MAC. Actually, I don't think I've ever had it in Black Track. I have had fluid lines in the past. I use it with MAC's 211 brush, and it works like a dream. You know, it takes a little bit of getting used to using a thicker brush than you would be used to using on like a eyeliner pen or anything like that. But ultimately, I like the darkness that gel liner gives you as opposed to liquid liner. It just looks like intense. It's like just black tar on your eyes. That doesn't sound attractive. This is why I'm not really a beauty guru. I also want to mention this. This body wash has been bomb.com. Usually I use the, in my brush cleaning video you see it, that big Dr. Bronner's Rose Castle soap, which is good. It smells really freaking good, but unfortunately, if you've ever used a Castle soap before, you might know that they can be a bit drying, and this time of year, hunty, no, that is not happening. So I had seen Hey Fran Hey on YouTube talking about this stuff, and I decided to give it a try. Of course, it is not the most natural thing. You know, if you're looking for like a completely natural product, the Dr. Bronner soap is a better route to go. This has some random chemicals in it, but ultimately it is made without a lot of the stuff that is really, really bad, and it smells so good. I don't know how to describe the scent. I didn't mention this is the raw shea butter one. There's a bunch of them with frankincense and myrrh. Anyway, yeah, it just smells really good. It's kind of a unisex scent. As I stated in my I think why I moved video, maybe I didn't say it in that video. Maybe I haven't said it at all. I can't remember. But I have, in my opinion, perfected my braid out. I think this is a pretty good braid out. This is actually pretty close to the natural texture of my hair. It's just that it gives me more of my length back, and with the products I'm putting on, it gives it more weight and again gives it more length. So I'm going to talk about the two products that have made me finally able to do braid outs, and I don't know if I've been showing it enough already, but ooh, it's really gross. It's like greasy and oily. But anyway, this is the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Frizz Free Curl Mousse, and yes, it's another Shea Moisture product, which is great because this stuff is super cheap. You can get it at like Target, or you can get it at like Whole Foods. Doesn't matter which, but it's very affordable as far as natural products are concerned. And when I first got this, because I got this a few months ago, I wasn't crazy about it because I wasn't, you know, using it really to its full capacity. It's great for kind of just refreshing your curls. You just pump some out and put it onto your hair. It's a little bit nicer than just using straight up water because there's some stuff in it that helps seal in the moisture. And then on the ends of my hair, I like to focus just some, I think this is just raw shea butter. I got this at a local health food store, and you have to be careful with this because it can get very, very greasy and very, very heavy, but I was finding that just using this or just using an oil, my hair was drying out to the max, and I am still recovering from having very, very dry hair. I don't want to cut my ends, but I probably should because they're goners. I have been experiencing a little bit of breakage due to my lack of knowledge of proper maintenance skills, but I am reviving my hair now, so hopefully I can just save it. I could do a braid out video if you guys are interested. They add the weight and moisture that my hair needs, especially this time of year, because when, you know, when you're in high school or middle school and you're monkeying with hair, you're inside most of the time. I am outside constantly walking from class to class, and that sort of exposure to the element has taken a toll on my hair, on my skin, which I will mention next, and on my body, like I said, with the shower gel. So it is crucial to get sort of moisturizing things, products and stuff into your life. Now, the skincare product I was going to mention, I talked about in my Whole Foods and Trader Joe's haul. This is the argan oil I picked up, and as you can see, I have been enjoying it because it's like already low. And I do need to be careful with using this just because it is kind of pricey, and the fact that it's like already almost gone is a little scary. But I have been using it for a lot of stuff. I first used it in my hair, I've used it on my skin, I used it as eye makeup remover, I used it on like my face, and ultimately, I think what I'm going to focus this product on use-wise is on my face. It is great. In the morning, I kind of do half and half with my Trader Joe's moisturizer, and then at night, I just use this to moisturize, and it just totally evens the tone of your skin. And I don't know. My cheeks were getting like some dry spots just from being outside all the time. That's not an issue anymore. I just feel like my skin feels so nice, and I do think it is because of this. Let's get into some music favorites before I wrap up these beauty favorites because I can't talk about beauty that long. This was a month for music. Oh my gosh. I'm going to spend more time talking about two things in particular, and then I will talk about what I was listening to earlier this month. But as of late, I have been listening to, let me get out of the way, I Love You by The Neighborhood a ton. I remember I first listened to this album when it, probably like near when it first came out, probably not right when it first came out because I wasn't like a crazy fan. Actually quite the opposite. I remember when I first gave this album a listen, I was like, what? I don't get it. I thought they were this super overhyped, melodramatic alternative band that everyone was into just because they're into like dramatic stuff like Lana Del Rey and stuff now, and I was like, oh, I'm not feeling this, so I ignored that. But recently I was listening to the St. Lucia Pandora station, which I will talk about St. Lucia in a moment. I was listening to that radio station and The Neighborhood constantly pops up. Yo, Pandora, Spotify. But yeah, The Neighborhood was coming up constantly and I was like, damn, this is some good stuff. Especially when you're walking around and it's like cold and windy and you just feel like super dramatic, like you're in a music video or something. Perhaps just me, who knows? But yeah, I can't even list any favorites in particular from the album. I think it's actually just a winner from start to finish, which is so ironic considering I didn't like it at all at first, but it grows on you and it's good. Next thing I'm going to mention is When the Night by St. Lucia. And this is an album that I've actually enjoyed for quite a while, but I just have been returning to it, as I said, because I was listening to the St. Lucia Pandora, no, oh my god, Spotify station. And it is such a good album, you know, where The Neighborhood makes you feel like you're in this drudgy, like dramatic, dark video, all black and white. This makes you feel like when you're walking around like you're just like falling in love, and it's just such a happy feeling, sweet experience listening to this album. You feel like you're in a little 80s teen movie and you're at the school dance and your dreamboat guy asked you to dance. That's a weird description for that album, but I think it's accurate. So, two very different albums on different ends of the spectrum that I think you should check out. Some other artists I want to mention, I might make a playlist. I will leave that down below in the description. I have been listening to a band called Dale Earnhardt Jr., which I thought I had never heard of this band before, but when the song Nothing But Our Love came up, I realized that back in baby fetus early high school terror days, when I started getting into like really, I mean not really indie music, but just like more alternative indie music, and I would always listen to Urban Outfitters radio on their website. I don't think they do that anymore, but it was an awesome place to find music. This song had come up and it's in my YouTube favorites like way long ago, but now I have listened to way more of their stuff and they're really good. I've also returned to the Wombats, one of my all-time favorite bands. They are killer and awesome, just like Britpop kind of rock band. I dig them. And then also DeLorean, which is another all-time fave. Again, I had gotten into this band back when I was listening to that Urban Outfitters radio, and they have a newer album. I don't know if it came out in 2013 or 2014, but I've been listening to that and it's really good. And they just make you feel like you're on like a wild, like safari sort of disco exploration. That's the description for that album. These were really good descriptions this time around in this video, I feel. So yeah, get into those. Those will be down below, like I said. And finally, to conclude, I have two last beauty favorites, and they are both lipsticks. The first one I'm going to mention is the one I'm wearing, and I literally have not taken this off since the day I bought it, which was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And this is called Touch of Spice from Maybelline, New York, and it is amazing! Woo, I got really excited there. But yeah, this is awesome if you like matte lipsticks. It sits so well on the lips. This compared to Sin by MAC, which is another matte lipstick I wear all the time. That is it's very drying. It's a cute color, but it's hard to maintain. It gets like gooped up in here and it doesn't fade nicely throughout the day. This is way more low maintenance and you still get the same effect. And then another thing I got, I think at more around Christmas time. So I was using this like the beginning half of the month, and it's just a little baby sample lipstick, but this is Artist Natural and this is by Makeup Forever, and it's great. It's really smooth, just a good, like, don't even have to think about it color. Just throw it on the lips. You probably could put it on without a mirror and you would still look good. And both of these products, super low maintenance products, that is what I live for, you guys, honestly. And that concludes this video, I think. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been, you know, doing a good job keeping up with this channel so far. Things are going good, I think, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.